Okay, folks, get ready for another exciting edition of Sweet Country Music.
Singing sweet country music, breathing clean mountain air. Singing sweet country music makes me wish that I was there.
Welcome to Sweet Country Music. I'm your host, Larry Kratka, and while country music has been around for a long, long time, there's one thing about it we all love, and that it's down home from the heart, honest music. Now, on this show, I'll play the biggest hits of country legends throughout the years, and many of those songs I play will be on 45 RPM records or albums. You're going to hear some amazing stuff, so time to get those turntables spinning on this edition of Sweet Country Music. Let's get to work.
Sweet country music.
I don't know why you want to start with me. I ain't done nothing far as I can see, and I'm worn out from working too hard. Why don't you give me a break? I know that lately things ain't been so good. I'll make it up just like I told you I would. But I'm tired and I wanna sit down to ease the soul backache. You say you're having trouble figuring me. I don't believe I'm such a mystery. Baby, what you get is what you see. I am a simple man. I want a job and a piece of land, 3 squares in my frying pan. Don't seem so hard to me to understand. I am a simple man. You say we got some things to talk about, a lot of problems that we need to work out, but we just end up fighting. Why don't you give it a rest? I don't know what else I can say to you. I'm doing everything I know to do, and I can't give you anything more when I'm giving my best. Say you're having trouble figuring me. I don't believe I'm such a mystery. Baby, what you get is what you see. I am a simple man. I want a job and a piece of land, 3 squares in my frying pan. Don't seem so hard to me to understand. I am a simple man. I'm just a simple man. You say you're having trouble figuring me. I don't believe in such a mystery. Baby, what you get is what you see. I am a simple man. I want a job and a piece of land, 3 squares in my frying pan. Don't seem so hard to me to understand.
Making money at 30 with a wife and a son. Then a short 5 years later, it all comes undone. She's gone back to mama with the boy by her side. Now I'm wine drunk and running with them on my mind. I'm on the backside of 30 and back on my own. An empty apartment don't feel like a home. On the backside of 30, the short side of time, back on the bottom with no will to climb. It's dawn Monday morning and I just called in sick. I skipped work last Friday to drag this month's rent. And when my friends ask me, I tell them I'm fine. But my eyes tell a story that my lies can't hide. I'm on the backside of 30 and back on my own. An empty apartment don't feel like home. On the backside of 30, the short side of time, back on the bottom with no will to climb.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Sweet Country Music, where I have a lot of fun playing records and CDs for you, and you have fun listening to them. In the second half of the show, I'll be presenting the Sweet Country Music feature presentation. And this time, I'm going to play a couple of songs about rednecks. Now, what is a redneck? Who is a redneck? Well, to answer that question, good old Jeff Foxworthy will come up in our comedy break to explain it all. He's one of those guys I really want to see live on stage. The song you just heard was John Conley and his number one hit record from 1979, Backside of 30. It was the second number one hit record the Kentucky singer-songwriter would have, but certainly not his last. Now, John Conley is amazing. Beside his successful musical career, he's worked as a disc jockey at a Nashville radio station. And get this, he's a licensed mortician. I opened the set with Ricky Van Shelton and a number one hit record for him in 1991, I Am a Simple Man. The Virginia native was hot on the record charts and our radios in the mid-1980s and early 1990s, and he's racked up 10 number one hit records along the way.
Sweet country music.
Why does the sun go on shining? Why does the sea rush to shore? Don't they know it's the end of the world? 'Cause you don't love me anymore. Why do the birds go on singing? Why do the stars glow above? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love. I wake up in the morning and I wonder why everything's the same as it was. I can't understand, no I can't understand how life goes on the way it does. Why does my heart go on beating? mine cried. Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
First thing you know, me and old Cisco run through $50. We got caught in the card game. They said they're taking us home. They must have changed their minds. I've only got one dime, one time to use a telephone. And I said, hello, honey, go borrow some money, get your sweet man out of the can. Well, it's Saturday night, they got me locked up tight. We all fight to hear a band. Jump up, baby, put on your clothes. Hop in this to the baker, come and tell that jailer that you want sweet thing in Cisco. Now me and old Cisco went to a go-go, a place called the Bottom of the Pile. Up on stage there was a couple of babes who had nothing but a big old smile. The joint got raided, and we just cheered them on. Well, they took us and they took us, and they only gave us one time to use the telephone. And I said, hello, honey, go borrow some money, get the sweet man out of the can. Well, it's Saturday night, they got me locked up tight, and we all fight to hear a band. Jump up, baby, put on your clothes. Hop in just to the baker, come and tell that jailer that you want sweet thing in Cisco. Problems too. We couldn't tell what we got, didn't know what to do to who. So we started demonstrating. Oh, we should have stayed home. Now we're right back downtown, waiting in line for our time to use the telephone. And I said, hello, honey, go borrow some money, get your sweet man out of the can. Well, it's Saturday night, they got me locked up tight. We all fight to hear a band. Jump up, baby, put on your clothes. Hop in this to the baker, come and tell that jailer that you want sweet thing in Cisco. Hop in this to the baker, come and tell that jailer that you want sweet thing in Cisco.
I haven't had a chance to play that record in ages. That's the story of Sweet Thing and Cisco from Nat Stuckey. The song landed at number 8 for Nat Stuckey in 1969 and should not be confused with a number 4 hit record he had in 1966 called Sweet Thing. Totally different song. Nat Stuckey had a career in broadcasting, and in fact, he worked at KWKH in Shreveport, Louisiana, where he became a member of the famous Louisiana Hayride radio show. Off in the set with a legend of country music, Skeeter Davis, and her number 2 hit record from 1962, The End of the World. Skeeter Davis was one of a handful of female country singers who made their mark on country music in the late 1950s and early 1960s. Now, here's a piece of music trivia. Despite a very long career on the record charts, Skeeter Davis never had a number 1 hit record. But The End of the World made it to number 2 and was her biggest hit, staying on the country music record chart and our radios for about 24 weeks.
WTBR. Sweet country music.
Here's one of the legends of country music on Sweet Country Music.
Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks on mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out at Kankakee and rolls along past houses, farms, and fields. Passing trains that have no name, and graveyards full of old black men, and the graveyard of the rusted automobile. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Dealing cards with the old man in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle. Feel the wheels rumbling neath the floor, and the sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babies sleep, rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans, changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, rolling down to the sea. But all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and the steel rails still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings his songs again, the passengers will please refrain. This train has got the disappearing railroad blues. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
I was there to buy a pistol. She was there to hock her ring. The broker in that pawn shop deals in almost anything. He'll pay you for your misery, or he'll sell you someone's pain. And that twinkle in his greedy eyes says your loss will be his gain. She stood back in the shadows as the broker dealt with me. Her eyes were dark and desperate from some private misery. His words were so prophetic when he said, "You gotta steal." I said, "Throw in one bullet and you got yourself a deal." Oh, a Saturday night special is an easy thing to buy. All you gotta be is 21 or 15 if you lie. Just hand the man the money, and if someone's gotta die, the broker in the pawn shop won't even blink an eye. Well, he handed me the pistol, and I was almost to the door when I heard him tell the lady, $7, nothing more. The lady started crying as he took her wedding band. Well, my hand was in my pocket, and the gun was in my hand. Well, I was gonna use that bullet to end my life. I was once somebody's husband, she was once somebody's wife. Well, I usually mind my business, but I could not walk away. His dollars just weren't making sense, and I knew I had to stay. Well, the broker's face turned pasty when he caught my icy stare. It would never leave my pocket, but he knew the gun was there. I asked him what his life was worth, and he opened up that drawer for a simple golden wedding band. He paid $2,000 more. That Saturday night was special, even though it wasn't planned. As we walked down the sidewalk, she reached and took my hand. We crossed the bridge and I took that gun and sailed it through the air. I said, "Ever been to Texas?" She said, "I think I'd love it there." Oh, a Saturday night special is an easy thing to buy. All you gotta be is 21 or 15 if you lie. But there's a pawn shop in the city used to deal in everything. But you can't buy a pistol there. You can't hock your wedding ring.
There's a couple of legends of country music to feast your ears on. That's Conway Twitty and one of his records from the late 1980s called Saturday Night Special. The song about a pawn shop and a gun made it to number 9 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles Record Chart during the summer of 1988. The Saturday Night Special gun he's talking about is a small caliber weapon popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It was also featured in a lot of TV shows and movies. It was also perceived as a cheap little gun, easy to dispose of. I open the set with another legend of country music, Willie Nelson, and his 1984 number 1 hit record, City of New Orleans. Now, if the song sounds a little familiar, it should. It was a big hit record for Arlo Guthrie 12 years earlier in 1972. In 1985, the Willie Nelson version earned a posthumous Grammy Award for the writer of that song, Steve Goodman.
Sweet country music. WTBR.
Babe, somewhere I know I'm gonna find it, babe. It'll have my love behind it, and it will be a symphony of all you mean to me, a very special love song. And babe, if there's a way you know I'm gonna say it, babe. If there's a melody I'll play it, and I'll play it through, especially for you, and all the words are true, a very special love song. Don't be surprised if you're sitting alone and you hear it I'm gonna sing it to the whole big lonely world. So turn your radio way down low and get near it, and I'll tell the world I love you, girl. Hey, if there's an ounce of love, I'm gonna give it to you, babe. If there's a breath of life, I'm gonna live it every day for you. And oh, the whole night through, singing just for you, a very special love song for you.
I think I'll take a moment to celebrate my age, the ending of an era and the turning of a page. Now it's time to focus in on where I go from here. Lord, have mercy on my next 30 years. In my next 30 years, I'm gonna have some fun. Try to forget about all the crazy things I've done. Maybe now I've conquered all my adolescent fears, and I'll do it better in my next 30 years. My next 30 years, I'm gonna settle all the scores, cry a little less, laugh a little more, find a world of happiness without the hate and fear. Figure out just what I'm doing here in my next 30 years. Here we go. All right. For my next 30 years, I'm gonna watch my weight, eat a few more salads, and not stay up so late. Drink a little lemonade and not so many beers. Maybe I'll remember my next 30 years. My next 30 years will be the best years of my life. Raise a little family and hang out with my wife. Spend precious moments with the ones that I hold dear. Make up for lost time here in my next 30 years. In my next 30 years. All right. Oh, here we go, boys.
Here's a question for you. What are you doing for the next 30 years? Well, Tim McGraw seems to have the next 30 years planned out pretty good. My Next 30 Years was a number one hit record in 2000 for the Louisiana singer-songwriter. Just one of many number one hits he would have between 1992 and 2007. Off the set with a real legend of country music, Charlie Rich, and his number one hit record from 1974, A Very Special Love Song. It was one of many, many number one hits the Silver Fox would have over the years. Yeah, that's his nickname. The writers of the song, Bill Sherrill and Nora Wilson, received a 1975 Grammy Award for the Best Country Song of the Year. I just thought I'd mention the writers of the song. You know, they don't get nearly as much credit as the performers do. So, to all you songwriters out there, great job. Keep up the good work. Well, we're halfway through the show. Coming up in a few minutes, the Sweet Country Music feature presentation. And this time it'll concentrate on redneck songs. What and who are rednecks? Well, good old Jeff Foxworthy's coming up in our comedy break, and he'll explain it all. I'm Larry Kratka, your host. Stick around. More to come on this edition of Sweet Country Music.
Sweet country music.
Laugh track.
A lot of misconceptions about the South. A lot of people think everybody from the South is a redneck. And you don't have to talk like this to be a redneck. I've been to 48 states. There are rednecks everywhere you go. See, the problem I found, a lot of people don't know if they're a redneck or not. So I came up with a test to kind of help people out. Things like, if your richest relative buys a new house and you have to help take the wheels off of it, you might be a redneck. If your wife's hairdo has ever been destroyed by a ceiling fan, you might be a redneck. If you refer to the 5th grade as my senior year, you might be a redneck. If you've ever taken a beer to a job interview, you might be a redneck. If you can burp and say your name at the same time. Look at this, people are qualifying out here. If your front porch collapses and kills more than 3 dogs, you might be a redneck. If your family tree does not fork, you might just be a redneck.
WTBR.
Sweet country music.
Time now for our Sweet Country Music feature presentation. And this time I'm going to play a couple of songs about rednecks. Well, I've said this before, but the term redneck is a derogatory term. But for some reason, country singers and songwriters continue to do songs about rednecks, and many of those songs become hit records. Now, how did the term redneck come about? Well, I took a look at that, and it was a description of those folks working in the hot sun, which discolored their skin a shade of red, especially in the back of their necks. Thus, the term redneck. So, here are 2 major recording artists and their songs about rednecks. I'm going to kick it off with Craig Morgan and a hit record he had from 2005, all about the Redneck Yacht Club.
I'm meeting my buddies out on the lake. We're headed out to a special place we love that just a few folks know. There's no signing up, no monthly dues. Take your Johnson, your Mercury, or your Evan Rudy fired up. Meet us out at Party Cove. Come on in, the water's fine. Just idle on over and toss us a line. Fast trackers, mainliners, and a party barge strung together like a floating trailer park. Anchored out and getting loud all summer long. Side by side, there's 5 houseboat front porches. Astroturf lawn chairs and tiki tiki torches, regular Joes, rocking the boat, that's us, the Redneck Yacht Club. Bermuda flip-flops and a tank top tan. He popped his first top at 10 a.m. That's Bob. He's our president. We're checking out the girls on the upper deck, rubbing in the 15 SPF. It's hot. Everybody's jumping in. Later on when the sun goes down, we'll pull out the jar and that old guitar and pass them around. Bass trackers, mainliners, and a party barge strung together like a floating trailer park, anchored out and getting loud all summer long. Side by side there's 5 houseboat front porches, astroturf lawn chairs and tiki torches, regular Joes rocking the boat, that's us, the Redneck Yacht Club. When the party's over and we're all alone, we'll be making waves in a no-wake zone. Fast trackers, mainliners, and a party barge strung together like a floating trailer park, anchored out and getting loud all summer long. Side by side there's 5 houseboat front porches, astroturf lawn chairs and tiki torches, the regular Joes rocking the boat, that's us, the Redneck Yacht Club. Redneck Yacht Club. The Redneck Yacht Club.
Bom bom, 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 bom. It's alright to be a redneck. It's alright to ride around in a dirty old truck, catch a bunch of fish and shoot a bunch of duck. It's alright to be a redneck. Chase around the girls on Friday night. You wanna make them feel alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright to be a redneck. It's alright to be a redneck. It's alright to work hard in the sun all day, drink a couple beers after baling hay. It's good to be a redneck. Drive by Ernest for some barbecue, showing off your brand new boots. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright to be a redneck. The kids are gonna cry and the chicken's gonna fry, you know it. The car won't run, so your cousin's coming by to tow it. Ba-bom bom, ba-bom bom, ba-bom bom, ba-bom bom bom, ba-bom bom, ba-bom bom, ba-bom bom, ba-bom bom bom. It's alright to be a redneck. It's alright to have a girl named Thelma Lou. Don't mind a little kiss when you got a little chew. Party on the road by the light of the moon, dancing to a country tune. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright to be a redneck. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright to be a redneck. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. It's just right. It's alright. It's alright to be a redneck. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright to be a redneck now. Ba-bom-bom. It's alright. Ba-bom-bom.
There you go. Alan Jackson and something he did back in 2000. It's all right to be a redneck. Now, I'm an Alan Jackson fan, to be sure. And this song shows how he can deliver a song about the term redneck with a sort of good old boy charm. Now, I don't know anyone else who could do that song justice as well as he did. I'm going to set with Craig Morgan and his number 2 hit record from 2005, Redneck Yacht Club. The song talks about a bunch of folks having a blast on their small boats, soaking up the sun and even riding flotation devices. I had a small boat one time and my trusty Evan Rude let me do a little trolling on a lake. And I guess I could be a member of the Redneck Yacht Club.
Sweet country music.
WTBR.
Let's get back to some legends of country music. Here's a record from Bill Anderson.
Every time I hear the midnight trains rolling out to the open plains, a sense of freedom fills my veins. I get the fever. Every time a sparrow flies up into the endless skies, something down inside me cries, I get the fever. I get the fever to pack up and leave here and wander wild like the wind. This town's too full of memories of cruel love, and I can't stand it seeing her with him. Every time I hear a buddy say he's put lots of dust and clay between him and yesterday, I get the fever. I get the fever, pack up and leave here. I think maybe I'll do just that tomorrow. This town's too full of memories of cruel love. Everywhere I turn there's pain and sorrow. Every time I hear a buddy say he's put lots of dust and clay between him and yesterday, I get the fever. I get the fever. I get the fever. The Diablo Motors had a hell of a sale downtown yesterday. Word got around, no money down, take years and years to pay. When I got there, the lot was bare, but the salesman said, hold on. For a little cash, I got a 2-tone ash out behind my barn. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. With a 9-foot grand, a 10-piece band, and a 12-girl chorus line. I'd raise some loot in a 3-piece suit, give him one dance for a dime. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. Well, he said, friend, it ain't the end, let's see what I can do. If you own a home, I've got a loan, tailor-made for you. Then above the racket, a voice in my jacket said, I'll tote the note. The devil made me do it, talked me into it, and that was all she wrote. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. With a 9-foot grand, a 10-piece band, and a 12-girl chorus line. I'd raise some loot in a 3-piece suit, give him one dance for a dime. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. They say debt is a bottomless pit where the devil likes to play. I'd sell my soul to get out of this hole, but there'd be hell to pay. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. With a 9-foot grand, a 10-piece band, and a 12-girl chorus line. I'd raise some loot in a 3-piece suit, give him one dance for a dime. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine.
Yes, sir. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he would have a blast in mine. That's Joe Diffie and his number one hit from 1991, If the Devil Danced in Empty Pockets. It was the third single from his 1990 debut album, 1,000 Winding Roads, one of his best albums, actually. Joe Diffie hails from Oklahoma and has had a lot of hit records over the years, including 4 number one hits. I opened the set by going all the way back to 1966 when Bill Anderson had a number one hit record called I Get the Fever. Now, beside being a country music legend, going all the way back to the late 1950s, Bill Anderson had his own syndicated television show at one time called The Bill Anderson Show from 1965 to 1974. But it is his music that makes him a legend of country music.
WTBR. Sweet country music.
Where my mama sat on that old swing with her crochet. It was where Granddaddy taught me how to cuss and how to pray. It was where we made our own ice cream those sultry summer nights, where the bulldog had her puppies and us brothers had our fights. There were many nights I'd sit right there and look out at the stars, through the sound of a distant whippoorwill or the hum of a passing car. And it was where I first got up the nerve to steal me my first kiss. And it was where I learned to play guitar and pray I had the gift. If the world had a front porch like we did back then, we'd still have our problems, but we'd all be friends. Neighbor like he's your next of kin, wouldn't be gone with the wind. If the world had a front porch like we did back then. Purple hulls and pintos, I've shelled more than my share. There's lightning bugs and crickets danced in the evening air, and like a beacon that old yellow bull, it always led me home. Somehow mama always knew just when to leave it on. If the world had a front porch like we did back then, we'd still have our problems, but we'd all be friends. Treating your neighbor like he's your next of kin, wouldn't be gone with the wind. If the world had a front porch like we did back then, treating your neighbor like he's your next of kin, wouldn't be gone with the wind. Porch like we did back then.
What time of day should I sing my song? Should I sing it in the morning before anything goes wrong? There's only me and you and a honeysuckle dew. I can sing I love you, and you know I really do. Whoa, 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 what time of day?
What time of day?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing it in the noontime with the bright sun shining on? He's taking the morning dew, he's taking the shadows too. I can sing I love you, and there's no doubt you love me too. What time of day should I sing my song? Should I sing it in the evening while the whole world sings along? Darkness has finally come, and the day is finally done, and everybody's having fun, but you're still my only one. Whoa, 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 what time of day?
What time of day?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing it in the night time when we're finally all alone, and the only still small voice I can hear is your sweet voice? You're my only choice, so it makes my heart rejoice. What time of day?
What time of day?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing it in the morning while we're still all alone? There's only me and you, and a honeysuckle dew, and I can sing I love you, and you know I really do. Whoa, 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 what time of day?
What time of day?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing my song?
Should I sing it in the morning?
What time of day?
Should I sing it in the noon?
Now, by now, you know I love to play some country music from artists that are not generally remembered as much as the big names. And in this case, I had a chance to play a record I bought at a yard sale for 10 cents. What Time of Day from 1975 is what it's called, and it's performed by Billy Thundercloud and the Chieftones. The Canadian Native American vocal group had 6 hit records between 1975 and 1977. Pretty amazing what you could find at a yard sale, especially, tucked in those boxes under the tables. Off of the set with Tracy Lawrence had a number 2 hit record for him back in 1995, If the World Had a Front Porch. The song was sandwiched in between 2 other number 1 hits the Alabama singer-songwriter would have. Now, I like the song because it talks about spending sweet summertime moments with the family. Now, I don't have a front porch, but I do have a deck, and I spend a lot of time on it during the summer months.
Sweet country music.
Oh, them big wheels are turning, going somewhere, and they're carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, oh, I died. Love was just a game to me, I thought I'd never cry. I thought she'd be the loser, but standing here am I. And that long train is rolling, going somewhere, and it's carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, oh, I died. A broken heart is something that I have never had, but I learned the hard way, didn't know it hurt so bad. And them big wheels are turning, going somewhere, and they're carrying her away from my side.
Yes, he cried, thought he'd die.
Never dies, keeps right on a hurting no matter how I try. And that old rattler's rolling, going somewhere, and it's carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, oh, I died. Many years years I've fooled around and many years I've lied. I'd always be leaving with that suitcase by my side, but that big engine rolling, going somewhere, and it's carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, thought I'd die. Yes, I cried, thought I'd die. Yes, I cried, thought I'd
die. I walk into the kitchen, the silverware is gone, the furniture is missing, I guess you got it all. This is where it ought to hurt. Seems like every time you leave me, you try to think of something worse. I can't even get the blues no more. I try to worry like I did before, and nothing happens when I walk the floor. So what am I supposed to do? I toss and turn, but then I fall asleep. I'm going under, but it's not too deep. You wanna hurt me, but it's just no use. I can't even get the blues. This time ain't no different. Sun up in the sky, sitting on the back porch, clouds are rolling by. Oh, this is where it ought to rain. But it doesn't really matter to me, it's all about the same. I can't even get the blues no more. I try to worry like I did before, and nothing happens when I walk the floor. So what am I supposed to do? I toss and turn, but then I fall asleep. I'm going under, but it's not too deep. You try to hurt me, but it's just no use. I can't even get the blues. I can't even get the blues no more. I try to worry like I did before, and nothing happens when I walk the floor. So what am I supposed to do? I toss and turn, but then I fall asleep. I'm going under, but it's not too deep.
Now, if you're a Reba McEntire fan, you should know that song, Can't Even Get the Blues, was her very first number one hit record back in 1982. Of course, it wouldn't be her last. I opened the set with a real oldie but a goodie from country legend Hank Snow. Big Wheels from way back in 1958. The song landed at number 7 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles record chart back then and was just one of many, many hit records the Canadian singer would have over the years. Back to Reba McEntire for a second. She would rack up a lot more number one hit records over the years. Well, this edition of Sweet Country Music is all over. Hard to believe a whole hour has gone by. Zoop! Just like that. Had a chance to play some pretty cool stuff, including that 45 RPM record I found at a yard sale in a box under a table for 10 cents. Now, I was looking through the records, and the name of Billy Thunderclap and the Chieftains caught my eye. So I bought it. And when I got it home, I found out it was a hit record. Glad to play it on this show. I'm Larry Kratka, your host of Sweet Country Music, a production of Nothing But Old 45s. Talk to you later.